Hey friends, welcome to Friday's Hot News. We got some good gaming news to go over. How's your Friday? I need to know. Tell me down below in the comments. Before we even get started, don't watch anymore. Tell me, how are you really doing? Well, let's go ahead and jump on into the news, which is The Last of Us Part 2. Got some more details revealed about that in an interview, and that it is not going to have a multiplayer. This is courtesy of Anthony Newman, the game's co-director. This is actually in stark contradiction to other announcements that they have made about The Last of Us 2. Specifically, back at E3 2018, they said that, quote, there is going to be multiplayer with the game. We're really excited to share details about it, but that's going to be at a later date. The reason that they're axing multiplayer is apparently that this is the largest game that Naughty Dog has ever made, and so the difficulty of implementing multiplayer right now at launch is not what they want to go forward. So I want to give big props to Naughty Dog for saying, hey, there's going to be no multiplayer, instead of pulling a No Man's Sky where they're like, you can see each other, and then first day of launch, everybody's in the same place, and then just like, there's actually no multiplayer here. However, that's not come without controversy. Certain sections of the internet are burning down over the fact that they are losing The Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer, with a lot of people citing the fact that they loved The Last of Us first multiplayer. Reese, however, has a differing opinion.
I don't know anyone who actually played the multiplayer from Last of Us Part 1, would you even call it that? But it was just kind of this like slapped on feature just there because every other game was doing multiplayer at the time.
So that's Reese's opinion. I've heard the opposite. What is your opinion on the first Last of Us multiplayer? Even though multiplayer might not be coming to Part 2 at launch, it's not necessarily guaranteed that it won't be there at all, and especially Naughty Dog saying that if you've been paying attention to their job listings, it's not all bad news because they have been hiring multiplayer support. It's just that it won't be a launch feature. So not coming at launch, potentially could be coming later. Multiplayer, are you upset, happy, don't care? It is a single player game, you're going on your own. I would have never thought to care about multiplayer, but some people really do. And some people really want to talk to Google no matter where they are in the world or in their house, which is why the Xbox One just got announced to be working with a Google Assistant. You connect your Xbox account to the Google Home account on your phone, and then bippity boppity, you can ask Google, how much does Marcus Phoenix weigh? It's done. Obviously, the Xbox One already has Cortana support as well as Alexa, Google Assistant being the latest virtual assistant that's coming to the device. And speaking of coming to things, Twitch yesterday, big thanks to TwitchCon and all of the announcements that came out of there, Twitch announced that they are actually going to be rolling out a brand new look for the website, which a lot of people say they hate. Seen that on the internet. I looked at it and I was like, oh, things are slightly different. There's a few different menu changes, things are slightly bigger, the videos are slightly bigger, the text is slightly more prominent but less. It didn't really feel like a major overhaul. A lot of people being upset, but it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. And then another announcement to come out of TwitchCon is that Logitech, the company behind the C920 camera, the Blue microphones, the freaking Logitech MX Master, they're behind a whole bunch of stuff. They are now the proud owners of Streamlabs, my friends. They bought them for $90 million. What details are going on there? Not quite yet known. Streamlabs did say that nothing is changing as of right now. Nobody's being let go of. There's no talent changing hands. It's all just now they have a parent company, and there is a $30 million incentive on the line should Streamlabs meet certain growth targets. What those growth targets are, not sure. $90 million, there you go, Streamlabs. Well, let's talk about something else that probably costs more than $90 million. Star Wars, the Jedi Fallen Order. Reese, give us updates.
Well, being a week away from Force Friday, they seem to be drumming up a little bit of hype, so they dropped a new trailer yesterday. It kind of shows off the new protagonist dude, what's his name, Cal Kestis. Yeah, there's some lightsaber battles, some pew pew noises. Pew, 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 pew. Terrifying facial animations.
Like Mass Effect Andromeda? Worse. Good job, Respawn. Proud of you.
Yeah, they're kind of just hinting at the story of what's to come in the Fallen Order. It's the kind of cliche, we're trying to race to find this thing before the bad guys find this thing for reasons that haven't been specified. But yeah, no, this is kind of just to drum up hype for Fallen Order, which releases November 15th. It's not too far away, so this is probably one of the last trailers they're gonna drop. Speaking of mechs and stuff, Fortnite's controversial brute mechs are going boom.
I've given Reese my bad segues.
Oh, straight up. I've learned from you. The brute mechs are going boom in the latest updates. They were probably the worst addition to Season 10, and like player base has just straight up ragged on them from the get-go. Yeah, they were like overpowered, you know. It just kind of unbalanced the game completely, you know, made it a terrible time for everyone. So this is now in patch 10.4. Seems that most, if not all the mechs are going boom as soon as they're self-destructing as soon as they hit the ground. This might be the way Epic is saying, hey, we're vaulting these things, we heard you guys. It's kind of like at the end of the season already, so it's a little bit too late. People are happy.
Nerf this!
Segue. Give me a bad segue, Reese. Do it.
Bad segue. Fortnite, lawsuits, other lawsuits. There's your segue.
Okay.
Perfection.
AtGames is being sued by Bandai Namco, who kind of owns Mrs. Pac-Man. It's like this whole confusing licensing agreement that's going on. And AtGames, or AT Games, their response to this lawsuit is, oh, we just bought the rights to the royalty rights to the icon.
That's a power move right there.
That's a straight up power move.
You want to sue us because we don't have the rights? Fine, we'll buy the rights from you.
Yeah, they bought it from General Computer Corporation. They were the people who first programmed the game. Yeah, they first programmed Mrs. Pac-Man in 1982, and a representative of them confirmed that the transaction had taken place. So their statement on this, or AT Games' statement, is part of our ongoing initiative to be the caretakers of important cultural touchstones. We are privileged to gain these valuable rights pertaining to the iconic Mrs. Pac-Man arcade game. This is basically their way of being like, hey, we own these rights.
Sue us now, punks.
Pro gamer move.
Well, speaking of pro gamer moves, in case you want to play a Quidditch game, you can't because Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup sucked. But there is a new game that's being unveiled at TwitchCon right now, Broomstick League, which should be coming out shortly, which is basically Quidditch, but not Quidditch because trademark there you go. You can watch the trailer if you so desire. Broomstick flying wizards going on. Speaking of wizardry though, PT, the horror game that's never gonna come out because it was just a demo, but everybody still loves it. Well, it's been unveiled that there are still more secrets to be discovered regarding the game. In fact, not only were there 2 bathrooms that you could experience in the game, there was a third which had a decapitated corpse in a bathtub, which is quite creepy. His kappa was detated from his head. Poggers. Reese, give us the Borderlands 3 update.
After a few weeks of smaller hotfixes, they kind of dropped their first big major patch now for the game. It includes a couple of performance fixes that, you know, there were problems on consoles specifically. There's not such a great time there. It completely nerfs the porcelain pipe bomb, which was apparently the most OP weapon in the game. They had a cheeky little response in statement specifically for the porcelain pipe bomb. They were like, this grenade was never meant to explode multiple times. All enemies in the Borderlands universe are now safe from being instantly melted by radioactive poop.
Nobody liked the radioactive poo-poo.
Nope. I have no idea. Is Vietnam radioactive? That's a terrible segue. Hello. Ubisoft has announced the opening of a new development studio in Vietnam, which apparently is going to focus on mobile game development, specifically instant games for social media and stuff like that. Facebook and Snapchat have been doing these weird instant games that you just kind of swipe through and do a couple of things. I'm not sure if that's the route exactly that they're going down, but they're planning to recruit around 100 employees over the next 3 years. You know, it's kind of cool who are going to collaborate with their other mobile-based studios just for future projects. So this is just their way of boosting numbers for mobile development, it seems.
Okay, well, boosting nothing besides anger is what the developers of Shenmue 3 did. But now, in case you are one of the original backers, the demo will be available this weekend, the backer demo specifically. Enjoy your game, friends. That's all I have to say. And then, in case you like Dauntless, apparently it's going version 1.0 with some big updates going to be available on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. No longer early access, but rather a new, fully fledged actual game. Congratulations, Dauntless. And then let's end this episode of Hot News with a controversial topic, which is the Joker movie that's coming out. Obviously, there's been a huge hullabaloo from different facets of certain parts of society talking about how this is going to promote incel neckbeard gun violence. And then
we live in a society.
We live in a society. And then there's other parts that are saying, no, it's literally just a piece of art. How people interpret that art doesn't mean the art shouldn't exist. So wherever you are on that conversation, let me know down in the comments. Let's turn this into a firestorm. But Landmark Theaters is taking a hard stance about how well you can cosplay for this movie, saying that you are not allowed to cover your face in any capacity, even with face paints. So there you go. You can dress up as the Joker, but you cannot make your face as the Joker in order to go see this movie if you're going to Landmark Theaters. Specifically with the CEO saying that I want customers to be comfortable in their surroundings. Crap. Landmark is banning all costumes. AMC Theater is allowing costumes, but no face. I got those mixed up. My apologies. But there is crackdowns happening on what you can do for going to see this movie at specific theaters. I'm going to wait for it to come out to rent so I can watch it in the privacy of my own home and just appreciate it as a movie. Anyways, that's the end of Hot News. Let's smile this one on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Bye.
What are you doing with your face?
I'm just trying to distract you.
It's working. I see you devolving as a human being in front of my eyes.
Keep talking, Reese.